Thank you, Dr. Chari, and very good morning to all of you. And maybe today's mostly all are 170 already. They are here. Mostly our students. It is good to meet students because they are one of the biggest holidays during the difficult times and COVID times. But still, they are enjoying very big holidays. They are in the home. To keep in touch with the subject, it is nice to meet you all. And today, Saturday, all are free, and it is nice to weekend meeting and talking about subject. And on behalf of Manage and our webinar team, I welcome you all for this webinar. And we will, after completing, you can ask the questions and anything related extension. We can discuss much more, and you can open your mics once presentation over. And I will straight away I'll go for the presentation. Today's presentation we'll talk about something like extension. What is the future reforms in extension needed? What are the changing rules really extension institutions and departments need to think about? What are the changes and how it is going, like that we'll discuss. And straight away I'll go for the presentation now. And I hope you are getting the presentation. Is it right? Fine. We'll talk about what may be the next extension and what may be the changing rules for the institutions over the years. Traditionally, they are doing extension like public extension departments, and what may be the future reforms we need to think for agriculture extension. Those lines we will talk. And it's good that you all are, most of them are almost 90% are extension students. You are well aware about what is extension. You are for that, and you know what is extension. That's why no need of introduction. But I will go. It is in agriculture extension in India. If you talk more than 60 years of history, and last 20 years, we are looking for reforms of the policies in agriculture since 2000. And there were big talk on reforms and the policy on agriculture extension during 2000. Actually, you can see something administrators, policy makers in the central government level and across the country, they were talking reforms in agriculture extension. And they were articulating for new policy framework for agriculture extension. This was days when it is 2000 it was. And there, if you see, during that time, there was a policy framework for agriculture extension developed in 2000 by the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. Today's Department of Agriculture, Cooperation, Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. There, if you see, it's a full document. It clearly articulated. It acknowledges the current limitations of public sector extension and set out a new vision and strategy for agricultural extension in India. During 2000, we are doing 70s, 80s, 90s, one of the best extension system. We had the TNV, then we had the piloted Atma, and then we expanded across the country during NATP era. Then we were having TNV reaching the farmers through contract farmer approach, and again decentralized extension system like Atma we had. But still, in 2000, the government articulated it is not possible to meet reach all the farmers or stakeholders by the public extension alone, because during 80s and 90s, it's a monopoly. Only public extension, they will do extension service. But later on, if you see 2000 and later part of during 1990s, there are a large number of private extension players like agribusiness farms and few consultancies. They all are in the scene. They are coming, and NGOs, they are playing the big role in the agriculture extension. During that time, this policy framework articulated so many improvement and policy reforms, something like improving more research, extension, farmer interface, and also improving the women access to the technology. And also it's something working with the private extension, like co-financing private extension through farmers organizations or private consultants, something like that. And also at the time they articulated, government may not be able to do everything. That's why the government to act as a facilitator and creator of the enabling environment. Whole public extension system and governments and policies should work as a facilitator and creator of enabling environment, not doing everything. We need to work with the private players and others so that governments should need to make the enabling environment. That was articulated in 2000 itself. And later on, you can see other reports also. Later on, there is a report of the working group on agriculture extension for agriculture and allied sectors. This also articulated in different policy measures and reforms and recommendations in different areas. One is for convergence and program delivery and governance of the extension institutions and innovations, and also leveraging ICT in mass media in big way for agriculture extension. And again, concentrating on women and youth, and also there is a separate extension strategy. Like country like India has a vast difference in the agroclimatic other situations. That's why we need to have the separate extension strategy and policy for the difficult areas and disadvantaged regions like Northeast or Jammu Kashmir and other areas or dryland, those areas. And again, there are a lot of agrarian distress and conflicts across the country. And how we can address these agrarian distress like that. There are a large number of policy recommendations. And apart from these committee report, the state of Indian agriculture also clearly articulate what are the central government initiative during those time, how they try to accelerate the whole agricultural extension system by infusing, putting the national mission on agriculture extension and technology with the 4 submissions. And also there are initiatives like Kisan Call Center since 2004. There is agri-clinics, agribusiness centers for private extension. There is a mass media support, and there are other e-governance plans like ICT-based farmers portal, M-Kisan portal, mobile of Kisan Call Centers, supporting the AgriSnet like that. There are a large number of initiatives along with ICR extension initiatives and with the KVKs like technology assessment, refinement, demonstrations. It was happening to support the whole agricultural extension system from the central government. But with all this, again, if you see, during 2017, report of the Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income also again articulated what we seen in the 2000 policy framework. Again, they were talking about co-opting with the other partners and also convergence between the different players. This was clearly articulated even 2000. That means last almost 20 years, the convergence, it is not really happening. And also working with public-private partnership, it is not big way. We are not made much headway. There is an emphasis for the agribusiness oriented extension system. It is generally extension during 60s or 50s, 60s or 70s if you see. It's a production-based, production-led extension system. What type of technology they need to adopt like that? Mostly we are talking about technology for the production purpose. But 2017, the Doubling Farmers Income Committee articulated extension should be something like agribusiness oriented extension system. It is not only production, it should be agribusiness, producing and processing and packaging and marketing and reaching the consumers like that. It articulated something extension system, we need to do something agribusiness oriented. That was the articulation. And again, there was articulation for the capacity building of new competencies. Time is changing, there are new opportunities are coming, large number of farmer producer organizations are coming. That's why we need to reinvent the agriculture extension system, and also we need to have the new competencies, new capacities for doing whole extension. And again, there is we emphasize, the committee report emphasizes the institutional linkages between the different players and also emphasize on public-private partnership. And if we see all 20 years of these all reports, the one thing we can clearly understand, still there is a convergence of extension players. It's still a limitation, and also the whole extension system need to be moved towards something like agribusiness oriented extension system. And for that, we need new competency among the extension players, whether organizations, whether individuals, we need new competencies. And again, we need to go big way in integrating information communication technologies in agriculture extension. There is a continuous emphasis on public-private partnership and institutional linkages between the different players. This was almost articulated for almost 20 years. And if you see in the country, it's the last big reform happened in the agriculture extension is something like it was 1998. We started decentralized extension system. It's a brainchild from managed, conceptualized and implemented with the support from the World Bank funding. ATMA, Agriculture Technology Management Agency, which was pilot tested and across the country taken to 7 states and 28 districts. It was pilot tested, and it was later on it is taken across the country with key elements like again decentralized decision making, convergence, and also multi-agency extension and broad extension delivery and group approach, and having a lot of general concern and sustainability for the extension services to realize the cost recovery mechanism, and again bottom-up planning like that. We had the key elements. This program was implemented across the country. Even today, ATMA is reformed, and again there was some modifications over the years, and still the ATMA is one of the today biggest national level extension central sector scheme still in the operation across the country. And if you see over the years, the whole organizations such as new innovations were brought in, and agri entrepreneurs are like private players and farmer friends and farm schools are integrated with a large number of civil society organizations like something like farmers groups, commodity based groups, farmers interest groups are all formed to make the extension become more vibrant, and it is become more stakeholder friendly, and there are participation from the farmers. For that, there are reforms are taken up in the agriculture extension. If with all the reforms and the central sector scheme, it may reach us only few million farmers. If you see 2018 and 19, it may reach us something like 2 million to 3 million farmers. It may reaching overall. Farmers training alone, it reaches 2 million farmers, 20 lakh farmers. And if you see again during next year also 1920 also, it last financial year it reaching almost training alone it is 1 million farmers, and maybe put together all other farmer friends, farm schools and expo services trainings all put together, maybe it may be reaching maximum of 2 million farmers. That means even though with the biggest central sector scheme we are having, we are unable to reach large number of farmers. That's why public extension alone may not able to reach the large number of farmers in Indian scenario. For that, we need to have the public-private extension. And during this context, during 2017-18, manage conducted across the country, what is the status of agriculture extension in every state? And because extension become a very state-specific, lot of state initiatives also apart from central sector schemes, and there are large number of state-level innovations. There are initiatives. Manage conducted across the country, almost all the states. Status of agriculture extension system in the particular state, and these all reports, there are policy briefs and status reports are available with manage. Again, these reports also articulated, even though a lot of bright spots and there are good things are happening in different states, and there are state machinery is reaching with large number of scheme other things. But again, at the same time, there are limitations across the country. There is a convergence between the different players. It is limitation. Even though there are large number of public and private sector players are working, convergence is a limitation, and there is a linkage and partnership is missing in the many states and many places. Wherever bright spots are, these success stories or innovations are seen, it is isolated. It is not the national phenomena, and across the country, it may not be very vibrant system. If you see during 1998 and Atma was implemented in 28 states, it was a pilot basis. That's why we see a lot of vibrancy in the whole extension system, a lot of innovations and benefits and whatever it is giving, it was communicated across the country. But when we are taking up 2017-18 across the country, there is no very vibrant and innovations across the country. It is not happening. And many of the policy briefs for state-specific policy briefs articulated that we need to have the better convergence and whole extension needs better competencies. That was the whole reports. It's a state-specific. Some of things are, it is not similar to all the states, but overall, we need to have the better extension system for the changing times. That was the whole message from these policy briefs. This background, we are trying for the something like reforms last 20 years, but still we are not fully. It is moving towards very vibrant extension system in the country. And we are unable to reach large number of farmers with all the efforts of all sincere efforts of public and private extension players. We are unable to reach large number of farmers. That's why this whole topic of this agriculture extension next and changing roles and reforms for the agriculture extension articulate some different models. There are 10 different models. How we can integrate these models to our reform process in future. That was the whole idea about this webinar. When we are talking about doubling the farmers' income, the report, the extension, when we study in the colleges, you might be still studying the colleges, books and textbooks, and teachers might be teaching agriculture extension. It is a disseminating of information or technology transfer. More or less, the common understanding is it is the technology transfer. Generally, any student or we'll ask in what is agriculture extension, any extension personnel, talk about technology transfer. But doubling the farmers' income committee, it articulates extension means today's context. It is agriculture extension is an empowering system of sharing information, knowledge, and technology skills, risk, and farm management practices across agriculture subsectors along all aspects of the agriculture supply chain. It is not only technology transfer or production oriented. It is something, all the aspect related to agriculture supply chain, so as to enable the farmers to realize the higher net income from their enterprises. Farming become viewed as an enterprise, and also we need to concentrate the entire supply chain. That was the whole idea behind the defining the new extension. The extension is not only technology transfer, it's much more beyond to developing the enterprise. What are things we need to do? All the skills, technology, competency we need to do. And that was the 2017. And similarly, if you see globally, agriculture extension means they articulate it is a system and mechanisms to strengthen the capacity of the rural farmers and other stakeholders, providing access to information and technologies, and also enhancing the skills and practices, and also capacity to innovate. We need to make farmers to innovate. That's a capacity of farmers. Innovation capacity need to be improved, and we need to address the very rural development challenges through training and improved management and organizational techniques. And also it emphasizes the linkages with research and other actors like producer organizations, NGOs, and public-private sector. That's what the whole extension from technology transfer to it was changing, become enhancing the capacity of the farmers to innovate new things, and also to manage their farms better, and also how we can link the different players like private extension, NGOs, and the public sector coming together and helping the farmers to strengthen the capacity to produce better and to get the better income, and how we can change their skills and practices. That's what the whole idea. That's what agriculture extension become technology transfer to it. It is next level. It is moving. It is not only merely technology transfer. It is much more on technology transfer. When we talk initial years, 1950s, 60s, technology transfer is one of the prime aim of the agriculture extension. But later on, once you are new technology, you are taken next decades, mostly problem solving related to agriculture development process or technology adoption process. Then you give a lot of awareness and education to the farmers. And now, today, if you see, it's a human development. We need to concentrate on human development so that how they can manage their own systems. For this only, you can see Government of India promoting large number of farmer producer organization, because the farmer producer organization, the farmers, they will come together, they will start managing their own affairs, and they will get the only support from the government, other agencies, but they will have the better competency to run their own enterprises. That's why. So today we need to concentrate on human development. Today we need to extension system need to support how farmers can form the groups, how they become the farmer producers organizations or farmer producer companies, and how they can produce their own better farm produce, and how they can process, and how they can add the value, and how they can market, how they can reach consumers, how they can brand their values, and how they can reach consumer. That's what we need to talk about human development, developing competencies to take care of their own affairs. That's the today's extension. It's today's extension. No more it is relevant to technology transfer alone. It is one of the parts still. But today we need to concentrate more on human development and increasing new competencies for the developing the whole agriculture. That was the whole idea of the extensions, today's extension. That's why today people talk about capacity development and certification and innovation, and there is a something like value chain extension, like that. There is a new extension everywhere across the globe. If you see, the whole extension is something different they will talk. That's why earlier days we'll talk about extension means technology transfer or information and knowledge, but today mobilizing the farmers, forming the group, another important thing, and facilitating the linking with the different organizations, or monitoring or planning and creating innovation platforms for the farmers to innovate better, or promote agri-businesses among the farmers, like that. Today's agriculture extension is much more than the technology transfer or knowledge or information provision, even maybe market intelligence and facilitating the farmers to reach the different organization to get the support, like that. We need to have the different set of functions. Today, many of the organizations they will do, but still technology transfer will tell the very prime. But along with technology transfer, knowledge, information, we need to have the other roles so that farmers will get the better benefit from the agriculture development. For all whatever background I was talking so far, the whole reform process was something it is spending last 20 years. We are trying to reform whole agriculture extension system towards the something like more convergence between the different actors like public, private, NGOs, and farmer producer organizations. Like the large number of, we are trying for convergence and create the better linkage with the research and extension and other farmers and civil society organizations. And we are trying to move from technology transfer of extension means technology transfer to something agribusiness oriented extension. That's what we are moving somewhere towards. This was last 20 years, it was very well articulated, and whether our whole public extension system, we are moving towards that one, that is a questionable. For this already there are 10 examples I will quote here that may give some idea about how whole extension really changing in the ground level. It is whatever we read and whatever talk, that not necessarily the extension system what we see in the ground level. For example, this story from system of rice intensification in Tripura. It was somewhere in mid 2000. The total area of rice is 6.1%, and 2011 and 12 it was 35%. If you see few states, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Tripura was leading states in the system of rice intensification during mid 2000, during those years. And Tripura recorded highest increase of the area in the rice next to Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Tripura is a small northeastern state, but it recorded adoption of a system of rice intensification big way, and large 35% of increase in the total rice area came because of this technology. And again, they reported 165% of increase in the yield by Sri compared to the traditional method. This whole innovation was taken, rice. It's a method of cultivation system of rice intensification Sri. It was taken to the field by the extension organization, Department of Agriculture. But this whole extension was not led by only one organization. And if you see productivity also, it is increased from 2,500 to it went for Sri to non-Sri, it is 3,500 like that. Per hectare, it increased the yield also. And when analyzing why this whole technology was taken the big way, it is not only Department of Agriculture. If you see, you can see large number of other players, those who are working for the agriculture development, especially during the Sri system of rice intensification. There are large number of actors you can see. Many are conventional players like Ministry of Agriculture, and there are Directorate of Rice Research, ICR, they are working, and there are ICR regional center, there is a self-help groups, there are farmers and state agriculture research station, there is a media is supporting little, and there is a KVK. And with all this traditional player, another surprise addition is Panchayat Raj institutions. This grassroots democratic institution also one of the important stakeholders. If you see, compared to all traditional extension players, the Panchayat Raj institutions was playing the big role, and also they are having strong relationship other players like SKGs, farmers, ICR, and KVKs. And you can see among all the players, these Panchayat Raj institutions are playing the big role. And because the whole state government was giving the state government developed the perspective plan, and they emphasize the food security is the important for the state. And for that, we need to adopt the Sri. There is a political message, there is a enabling policy environment. That's why, because the policy environment is enabling, this grassroots organization become in the action. They started doing promoting Sri in their own villages. They started promoting and coordinating with other extension players. This led the whole adoption of system of rice intensification. It is not only these organization, whole public extension mechanism was working, and there was decentralized Panchayat Raj institutions. Farmers are one side, and another side, there is a perspective plan. There is a policy, the state government supporting Sri, and there is a national food security mission from the central government, government of India, that also supporting the resources are coming from this scheme, and they are promoting Sri through this scheme. And again, the Sri is a labor intensive. For that, they integrated the MG Narega. The idea of state government is they try to integrate other policies, other organizations, those who can support. And because of this, the whole development was happened. Here, the understanding is, for anything to be successful, it is not only doing alone. That's why globally today they will talk about agricultural innovation systems. A network of organizations or enterprises or individuals, they focus on bringing the new relationship, new products, new form of organization, new process, new innovations, so that they can share their own resources, they can come together, they can work together. For this, maybe Sri may be the one of the example. Different policy initiatives, different organizations, they are coming together or promoting particular innovation or working for the agriculture development. That's why today it is not working alone. We need to work together as a system perspective. It is anything. That's why globally last almost 1.5 decade globally, they will talk about agriculture innovation systems, how we can work together with different players. Siri may be the system of rice intensification from Tripura, may be the one of the classic case on how to work together and how to bring the enabling policy together for working for something. This may be the one example. And we need to work with different players, like around any innovation to happen or something to be development to be happen. It is not only extension system or farmer producer organizations, agriculture research system, education system, and other input and other service providers, financial service providers, and government policy and consumer demands all need to come together and work together. Then only development happens. That's why to emphasize on system perspective in whole our agriculture extension, we had the document on agriculture innovation system fostering convergence for extension. How globally different organizations, different innovations, they are coming together. The organizations are working together. They are forming new relationship and sharing their own resources and sharing their competencies or their expertness to move towards development. That was we published. So some of you interested, you can go through this document available in the Manage website. The whole idea of extension system not working alone, taking from research and extension and farmers, it is no more relevant. We need to work with a broader system, including government policy, enabling policy. When we talk about enabling policy, for example, when you take it up, something like organic farming, like Sikkim government, there need to be enabling policy environment to promote the organic farming. Like Andhra Pradesh promoting a lot of natural farming, then government is enabling. During this time, you make it, and other players like extension organization, NGOs come together for the promoting natural resources, natural farming. Then the development happens in the big way. That's what whole extension need to work in the agriculture innovation system perspective, and we need to work as a system, not isolated department, institutions, and individuals or NGOs or organizations. We need to come together. We need to form new relations, and we need to share our own resources and expertise and human resources so that we can have development. This is the first example reform we need to have. Even though it was very well articulated in the Atma, convergence between the different actors. But still we need to realize in the many parts of the country when working for the agriculture development, especially agriculture extension. This is the one case for developing innovation system perspective in agriculture extension. Another one is, it is not taking the technologies to individual farmers, but we need to promote sustainable community management system. Extension should be, it is not run by only organization like public sector or NGOs. It should be community owned. Community need to own their own system, and community managed extension system need to promote. There may be the classic case from the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, Mairada KVK, ICR KVK from promoted under the posted at Mairada. It is a KVK from Erode, Tamil Nadu. Whole district, they developed almost 6 community managed resource centers, CMRCs. This is KVK is the facilitating agency to promote these community managed resource centers. They have their own organizational setup, board of directors. They have their own meeting. They find out their requirements, their programs, and they have the institutional linkages to different organizations. And they have their own custom hiring services. They have bio input production, and they have their own financial services for the credit facility to the farmers. They have decentralized nursery, and also they promote the livestock vaccination and livestock promotion. There is a cooperative society like that they formed. Like whole farmers' demands and needs and extension needs, it comes from the community managed resource center, and they have the linkages with all other organizations like ICR institutes, KBKs, universities, and NGOs. All work through these community managed resource centers. Here, if you see, all the farmers come together. They articulate their own needs, and also they will work for their own requirements. That's an interesting case. The community managed system of providing extension, other support services for the development of farming. Similarly, if you see, they provide these community managed resource centers. They provide technology management services, animal welfare, farm innovation, financial services, marketing, and general services to all the farmers. And only KBK act as a facilitator, hand holding. They will mentor for this. And similarly, recently, last 2 years before, they had another initiative. It's called as Agri Entrepreneur Service Center. If you see, Krishi Vigyan Kendra, they will find out the model successful entrepreneurs, and then they will establish Agri Entrepreneur Service Centers. There is a mentors, and they become mentors. Those who are successful entrepreneurs become mentors. There are village technocrats will be there. They will try to convergence of resources from different institutions. They will bring, whether, for example, they're working at banana expertise institutions like NRC and Banana and other universities and KVKs, all they will bring, and they will sustain the enterprises. You can see these all farmer-led processes, and they will make the produce, and they will reach the farmers, consumers directly. And here, Krishi Vigyan Kendra only working as a facilitator. They try to identify only successful entrepreneurs. Then they will connect with the appropriate research institutions. Then these village entrepreneurs, they will develop their own product, they will brand it, they will sell. And also during that time, they also train other village youth and other farmers, those who are interested in these type of enterprises. For example, there is a model enterprise from banana, and you can see there is a millets, and there is a honeybee based and desi chicken based. These are all one of the model enterprises in the particular village. They are doing it, and you can see after doing it, they will have the marketing facilities themselves only. Here, the idea is the village itself, there is a community incubation center. They are producing their own produce, and they are trying to reach the consumers after processing value addition. And also these successful entrepreneurs also training the other farmers. This type of community managed extension systems promoting, and also having the community based incubation support system for their own development. It is we need to develop this type of system. This is another case. And similarly, if you see, there is a community extension system. There is a Center for Sustainable Agriculture. They are working on many years in the non-pesticide movement. Something like they will advocate the less pesticide and non-pesticide crop they will cultivate, and all the farmers, they will form the group. If you see, this whole system of community extension system is promoted by Center for Sustainable Agriculture and there is they formed from the whole this organization also, farmers starting from extension to advisory, and also they formed the farmers producer company. You can see here analyzing and what type of pest disease problem, conducting the farmers field schools and agro ecosystem analysis, and up to business planning, what type of crop they can cultivate, how we can market it, how much benefit we'll get, and how to sell and where to sell, like that entire thing. You talk about entire agriculture value chain. They will talk starting from crop to the farmers field school, and business planning, how they produce, they can market like that, how they can determine price like that. Entire thing they will do as a community together, they will do. And only this sustainable Center for Sustainable Agriculture supporting the farmers on, there is a call center, and also there is you can see there is a mobile based support services. There is a support services, and based on these support services, they form the level resource centers, and there are farmer service centers. There is a knowledge and input, markets and finance, everything integrated. They form the producer organizations, and through farmers group, and they will entire agriculture, they form different groups and food groups, and they will go for their own seeds and bio inputs, and they will produce. For that, there is a company, they have their own capacity building and institutional building, and they will produce their own produce, and they will try to go for the organic stores. They will market direct to home or mobile store and organic store like that. That means entire agriculture process from starting from cultivation to reaching the consumers, entire thing taken care by the farmers, but promoted and supported by this Center for Sustainable Agriculture. But this whole extension system is a community managed extension system. That's the interesting thing. Farmers become their own, they are taking care their own development. And if you see, this whole products and all organic products straight away goes from farmer organization to markets. There are mobile vans, there are stores, and there are just going direct to the home like that. There is different models. You can see different parts of the country, and Mumbai and other parts, and also Telangana. It's a big way, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, you can see. These are different brands. It comes from Sagaja Haram brand name. It's a farmers producer. This type of managed system, and also they will go for their own seeds. They are self-reliant on getting their own seeds, and they will produce and they will circulate among the other farmers. They will share the seeds with other farmers, those who are in the group. Like this, their own seed system, and also they will have their own compost making, and they will go reaches to the other farmers, and they have the diversification policy and creating the better livelihood by diversifying income from the different other sources like backyard poultry or goatry or honey production like that. That also they will go for the marketing. This is another example of community managed extension system. And another fourth example, we see normally large number of trainings happens, but many trainings it may not reaches the after training that skill and knowledge may not be applied in the field condition. But we had the experience with the UNDP project and the ALC. There is a ALC group of institutions, and there is a DISA project from UNDP. They started Women Entrepreneurship Program. The whole training program, they identified the women from Maharashtra and Telangana. And if you see whole the training program is something new. It is adult learning principle based, and also it is very enriching and experience sharing, like sharing circle, and there is a class video like that. It is based on the rural woman based whole training was designed. And if you see, there are sharing circles, and there was field visits and travel workshops. And end of the day, once they will 6 months, and depending upon the farmers convenience, they conduct this course for the 6 months duration, and they will come only nearby villages. They will come only during there is a 75% of practical and only 25% theory it happens. And also it's based on the farm women's convenience they will conduct. Once they will complete this training, and they will be given, they are starting straight away enterprise. It is from Maharashtra. There is enterprise already started. That means targeted training and competency development based on the farm women's experience, and based on their experience, and they will go for the developing enterprises. We need to have the target oriented capacity development programs, and once competency is developed, knowledge and skills are developed, we need to move towards enterprise development so that it will be helpful. These women leaders, they will train other women leaders. That's the whole idea behind this program. This is another thing. Whenever we conduct the trainings in extension or whatever, and they should lead to the targeted audience, and also the competency should be realized in the ground level. They need to have the enterprise. And we share this whole experience, how we all along went with women and how they started the enterprise over 6 months period. And next phase already the training is on in Amedi, Kalahandi, and Orissa and Telangana. Almost this project tries for the 10,000 women they want to create as entrepreneurs, rural women. This is another model. Fifth model is community resource person. Across the country, if you see, through NRLM, large number of women community resource person are created. They are trained on the Pasu Sagi, Krisi Sagi like that. They are having expertise in the agriculture and also livestock. There is a woman leaders, woman community resource person. They have training and they are having their own expertise, and they will take knowledge to the other farm women and village common places and schools, community places. They are doing all this technology, and they are also adopting this type of extension professionals already trained village level. How we can integrate with the extension system? We need to develop large number of community resource person like farmer friends already there. How we can integrate with the formal extension, public and private sector? That is the issue, important issue. Almost more than 45,000 of this type of community resource person, women community resource persons across the country, they are available with the knowledge and expertise. How we are going to use, how every village we can have this, how we can integrate with the traditional system. That one we need to take in the next extension systems and reforms. We need to integrate these things. And important link, they may be the important last mile link for the whole agriculture extension development. This is another model, this community resource persons. And later on, you can see manage. We developed a large number of, since 2002, almost last 2 decades, since 2002, almost 18 years, we developed the agri clinics, agri business centers, there are large number of agri graduates. They are trained, they are taking up model agri business, and along with it they are giving the consultancy to the farmers. If you see, the large number of people are, they are innovators. They innovate many of things, and whether they will go with wheels for the extension service and Jharkhand and other parts of the country, and they will use ICT to reach the farmers. Like this, the large number of, and they are the innovators. They will come with new breeds, and they will do business producing seeds, and they will also give the consultancy. These type of, and also they issue livestock. These type of large number of entrepreneurs are available, trained across the country. We trained almost 72,000 people are trained. Out of that, almost 43% of them already doing successful agri ventures. They all agriculture graduates or diploma holders. They have enterprise to showcase to other farmers, and they can develop the other enterprises among the farmers. And also they are providing the advisory, how this whole agri entrepreneurs, those who are trained by many through the agri clinics, agri business centers, how we can integrate with the whole extension system. That is another reform we need to make it. Every village we can have this type of entrepreneurs, so that they can provide the service to the farmers, and they can develop the farming as a business, become enterprise, and they also practitioners in the field. And apart from that, another example is eighth one is ICTs. Today, if you see, we are documenting since 2018. Large number of ICT initiatives are taken, and these ICT initiatives, how we can mainstream with the agriculture extension is another important issue. Starting from village knowledge centers to today, we talk about mobile application slot and social media and artificial intelligence and IoT based large number of startups are coming. How we can integrate with the entire value chain. You can see simple digital farmer participated digital video. It is reaching nearly 15,000 villages, and it is improving the 60. It says that 63% of practices are improved and reaches 90% of the women farmers. These small Indian initiatives today globally, it is there in Ethiopia and other African countries also. They are working, and these type of initiatives, how we can integrate with the whole extension system, so that we can make a whole extension become more vibrant. And again, if you see social media, large number of farmers group, few 100,000 farmers are available in the single group. These groups are managed by farmers, and how we can do similar initiatives with all the public sector institutions, public and private sector. Individual extension person reaching nearly 17,000 people, and it's individual extension person, Mr. Madhubalan. And similarly, large number of WhatsApp groups we are making across the country. It is we had the public is how globally are social media useful for agriculture extension. Some of you interested, you can go through this publication. It is available, and you can get this one. And it is not doing. There are large number of initiatives since last 20 years, but they will do bits and pieces. But one example from the Northeast India, Meghalaya, some research project we started from in 2012 from Central Agriculture University. If today this whole project is taken care by Department of Agriculture Meghalaya, they integrated along this whole using the ICTs, all advisory and also market linkage they given. Not only advisory, they also give the advisory. They promote large number of awareness. They conduct large number of awareness programs, how to use this whole ICT based system. And today, if you see the entire this ICT based system, it has everything. It advisory, and also it provides the connection with the farmers to the markets better for getting the better price. And the more tribal parts of the country, farmers just need to call for any advisory or taking their produce to the market. Like whole ICTs need to be mainstreamed with the extension system. It is not working the bits and pieces. Large number of applications, large number of initiative may not work. State like Meghalaya may be the example to take entire ICTs, all the ICTs advisory to up to market, it's integrated. And these type of initiatives we need to promote. Ninth example is now today if you see India posts almost 450 agri startups. Globally there is 3,100 plus startups, agriculture startups. India alone having 450 agri startups, and every ninth agri startups, whenever it's coming, comes from India. Globally, if you are coming, every ninth agri startups comes from India. If you see these agri startups, they will be doing everything, agriculture development, starting from entire value chain, starting from seed to market, they will do. Bihar, there is another startup, and another startup we can see, agri startup, almost they're reaching 500,000 farmers in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan with the better advisory and also agri input. they are reaching the farmers. Similarly, if you see, to provide the solutions for the agriculture inputs, there are large number of startups, and to provide the accurate, timely assessment of soil moisture, developing data-driven controlled irrigation models, there are startups, and again, there are harvesting and mechanization related, like Uber, Ola, you are getting like mechanization, that skill innovations and J farm, you can get the farm implements. For that, there is a startups are available, and similarly, you can see there is a mobile imagery and digitization for the standardizing the grading and standardization of the farm produce. And there are some of the startups are offering modular and affordable storage processing solution to the farmers. And some of the startups are providing farmers advisory for the crop monitoring, including institutional credit. They are linking crop insurance and value chain financing. They are like there are a large number of startups. And again, many startups also connecting the farmers with buyers, including retailers, e-commerce process, and directly to the consumers. They take produce and they will reach the farmers. These type of startups are coming. And how we can integrate, support these type of startups, those who are already they are doing, making a lot of difference. They are reaching millions of farmers across the country, all the startups, 450 startups put together. How we can integrate these startups with our whole extension system, that is another big reform we need to bring. How we can support, how we can partner with these startups, how we can enable them to do better service to the farmers, that is another question. Manage also, we have nearly 60 startups we promote through our Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. Large number of startups we are promoting for the reaching the farmers. And you can see some of the publications, what type of startups we are promoting, it is available in the website. And similarly, like Manage, we have the Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. The 10th example is all the extension institutions department, it not merely act as a link between the research and extension, it should act as a innovation and incubation centers for the developing the agriculture. That's why, like Manage Model Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship, all the departments, institutions, KBKs, and universities, they need to have their own innovation and incubation centers to support large number of farmers and other entrepreneurs. That is the 10th big reform we need to have. And it is not merely disseminating or giving the training something. We need to show the things, and we need to have the innovation and incubation centers. Whole extension become the something like innovation incubation center. You should give a lot of ideas and support, infrastructure support for the farmers, rural youth, others. It's a big, this is the 10th idea for taking the big reform in agriculture extension. And Manage, we offer different services, different areas. Some of you interested, you can go through. We offer different programs in agriculture. There is a separate publication on agri-tech startups. Somebody interested, you can read. A lot of things are happening in agri-tech startups now. They are doing large number of support to the farmers and other stakeholders. And that's why there is a pending reforms. Last 20 years, we are waiting for reforms, and there is a policy initiative. And with this background, and whatever shown, there are 10 different examples, and we can conclude we need to have the better convergence and partnership among the agriculture extension stakeholders. For that, we need to have the big reform on innovation system approach we need to have, and the extension need to work with groups and like farmer producer organizations, so that we can work better and we can work with more number of farmers. And we need to create large number of sustainable community extension systems in the villages and rural areas. That's why they will sustain their own, and we need to develop this. We need to empower them to have their own sustainable community extension system. The extension should be organizations or institution departments should be only facilitator to promote this type of sustainable community extension systems. And like UNDP and ALC, the project I shown, whatever, we need to have the targeted capacity development among the youth and women. And whenever we give training and other capacity development activities, the application of knowledge and skill need to be taken care. That should lead to starting some new enterprise, and so that it will improve the farmers' income and the quality of life. And extension services coupled with the entrepreneurship approach like ACABC across the country, large number, especially Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, large number of extension should be something like entrepreneurship approach. We need to show models to the farmers. From there is a consultancy we need to show. ICTs, there are bits and pieces, large number of mobile applications. Instead of bits and pieces doing lot, we need to integrate all. Every extension person need to have their own Facebook page or WhatsApp groups and YouTube channels to reach large number of stakeholders. Institution need to integrate different ICT tools and for providing the value chain based extension. It is not for only like Meghalaya model, starting from advisory to up to reaching the market. We need to support the farmers. For that, we need to integrate entire ICTs with the agriculture value chain activities. And we need to promote large number of rural agribusiness. That's why we need to develop like E-Road KBK model. We need to have the community extension incubation centers, and we need to have agri entrepreneurs service centers in the rural areas so that farmers can develop their own produce and they can plant, they can sell, and they can reach large, and also they can train others. We need to develop large number of rural agribusiness and startups, and there is a large number of startups are coming. How we can partner and how we can support in the whole agriculture development process. That is another important reform we need to take it up. And that's what I told. Extension institutions like Manage, we are having our own incubation center. We are promoting almost more than 60 plus startups. And similarly, all the extension organizations, research institutions, academic institutions, universities, they need to have their own innovation incubation center, especially KBKs. They need to have their own innovation incubation center depending upon the particular area and type of crop in the district. They need to promote products, and because today if you see everybody, they look for the local food, and it is there is a food tech startups are coming in the big way. We can promote the location specific food technology based processed products and other things. That's why farmers can get the better benefit. For this, all our extension institutions and departments, KVKs, need to have their own innovation and incubation center to promote the farmer produce in the next level. And extension, entire thing, it is changing from technology transfer to it's a value chain extension, not merely giving the technology information knowledge. It may not make much difference to today's context. That's why we need to concentrate on value so that we will make the value for the entire activities, support services for we are starting from cultivation to up to reaching the consumers, so that we need to have the value chain based extension. These 10 big reforms and changing roles we need to make in the agriculture extension for really to reach large number of farmers. With this, I stop this one. Thank you very much, and I will take it up now. Any questions, I will take it up.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Introduce yourself.
Sir, I am Rudranath Mondal of BFIT Group of Institution, and I want to ask question that whether any entrepreneurship programs are entrepreneur companies are incubated by KVKs.
Yeah. For entrepreneur, those who are starting their own startups across the country, if you see, RKVY-RAFTAAR alone, there are 29 incubation centers. It is not necessarily KVKs. Many KVKs so far may not be having the incubation centers. Many of the agriculture universities, ICR institutes, almost 50 institutes, there are 50 agribusiness incubation centers, and all higher learning institutes like IITs, IIMs, everybody has the incubation centers. Like DBT, DST across the country, they are sponsoring the incubation center across the country. And for example, Manage has the RKVY-RAFTAAR incubation center. Similarly, there are 29 RKVY-RAFTAAR incubation centers across the country. And almost every state has the one incubation center under the RKVY-RAFTAAR alone. The Ministry of Agriculture Farmers Welfare Scheme last 2 years. Across the country, almost every state has the one incubation center, RKVY-RAFTAAR alone. Similarly, DBT promoted, DST promoted, NABARD promoted, Nidhi Aayog promoted, large number of incubators across the country. But if you see the incubators, it is mostly more located in cities, like in country like India, Delhi first, and next is Bangalore, then Mumbai, then Hyderabad, Chennai, like that. No, cities, large number of incubators. Apart from that, there are universities. There are other institutions. Now the colleges also starting incubation center across the country, different places. And you are from which place, and you can give the mail. We can connect with in your state nearby. What is the incubation center? We can connect with you. You can mail to us. We can connect with you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. You are from where?
I'm from West Bengal.
Okay. West Bengal, there is an incubation center. It is there. We will connect with you that West Bengal incubation center.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Any students? Can you open up?
Sir, if it is a public-private partnership, there may be chance of exploitation of the farmers by the private people. How can we address this?
The days are gone actually. Now maybe the private may be doing the better. For example, when private comes, farmers are so knowledgeable or intelligent. Across the country, if you see, it is a farmers also intelligent. Once you start exploiting, he won't receive the service. And how much time they will exploit? Whenever the private players, they want to survey in the field, they need to provide correct value to the correct better service and also value to money, whatever farmer paying. That's why, it is the question of it is gone. Whether you see whatever good services we'll get, get from private also. Profit as such, it is not the bad actually. When they are running some business, they need to get the profit, but it is not that all they exploit. Generally, there is a regulatory mechanisms, other things they can't exploit. When you are having, they are working in the farming sector, they are not. For example, Maharashtra, you see large number of private consultants. They are working with farmers, large number of farmers. Really, there is the days are gone. 20 years before, we are thinking they may exploit, but today they need to ensure the better service for getting their own profit. That's why, many of the private players, they always work for the development. Actually, it is not a question of exploitation. Somebody doing like that, and automatically farmer won't go for next time with him. Yeah. Next question, please.
Sir, I am Indranil, BSc from Dehradun.
Okay.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है सर. सम कंट्री लाइक इजराइल और कुछ कुछ डेवलपिंग कंट्री हैज लॉन्च्ड carbon credit or carbon finance and
Yeah.
rural dynamics, which can
Okay.
how can help with agripreneurship or agribusiness.
No, these type of things, it is whether when it will come to India, country like, and carbon credits, they will put it. No, it is questionable. And whether we are taking big companies, other things are there, we need to see.
Okay,
And if it is not very much prevalent in the country like India, it takes some time to come. Then it will help the agripreneurs to do something environmentally friendly services, other things, so that they can claim the carbon credits like that. It takes some more time, is it not? They need to quantify, they need to come the regulations and policies to how to credit for these type of things like that. Maybe some countries working in the developed countries, immediately it may not be working in our country. That's the issue. Always everything we should not look for the other countries. What works in India, better we need to see. These type of carbon credits to come, it takes some more time, is it not? You are Indranath Chakrabarti, is it not?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Oh, thank
Sir,
you.
और
Very good question. Yeah.
और सर और एक क्वेश्चन है. Data analysis is now coming in agriculture. How difference big data analysis and data analysis or agripreneurships?
Which one?
Data analysis or business analytics. Now recent trends is higher now. So how can it helps in entrepreneurships?
For example, so data is decision making. For example, if you have the data, you can have the better decision. For example, in the particular state you take, whether Uttar Pradesh, particular state, the farmers during this particular season, if rainfall is this much and they will go for this crop, then the entrepreneur can, based on the data, he can predict and he can go for the what type of advisory, what type of farmer support are needed, what type of input like that. He can plan his business accordingly, isn't it? Data become decision making. Data become the money, because he can make better decision for his own business, and he can communicate to the farmer also. That's why data plays greater role today. If you see, many places they will analyze the data, and data based this type of decision making, lot number of startups are coming up. It's a big opportunities for making business also. Data analyzing data. Generally, people are talking about big data, is it not? Yeah.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah.
Thank you sir. Thank you.
Any others?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So this is Mohammad Rakib from Rama University, Kanpur.
Yeah, Mohammad, tell me, Mohammad.
Sir, we all know that it's the mission of Government of India that to double the farmers' income by 2022. So after this pandemic, sir, what's your view? Is it possible?
No, the government of India's vision is something, whole mindset is thinking is changing. Earlier we are thinking how many technologies adopted. Now at least thinking about how to increase the farmers' income. That itself is a big reform process in the thinking, government policy making. And it may not be possible if 2020, and we are everybody trying for that. Always now we will give more importance for the increasing the farmers' income. That itself a big thing. Actually, we are thinking towards farmers' income. That itself a big thing. And because of COVID, other things, agriculture really not affected much. That was the reports are saying. As far as agriculture, it will go. It's the same growth. It will be there. It is not affected much. That's why But whether we get the 2022 doubling the farmers' income, that is a questionable. But government is planning that way. They are putting a lot of money for infrastructure, other things they are trying. And due to COVID, agriculture not really much affected. It is agriculture is doing good, and we'll hope coming days agriculture again do much more because better rainfall, other things this accelerate whole agriculture development. And because of COVID and may not be having the much relation with doubling the farmers' income because agriculture is still doing good because whether COVID or not COVID, we need to eat and we need to have the produce. And even though some problems in marketing, other things, but agriculture still more or less it is doing well. There are issues in some parts of some places, but still it is doing good. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Dinesh. Yeah, Dinesh.
Sir, I'm Dinesh Kalisati from OET, sir.
Okay.
Sir, sir, I have doubt that, sir, what is the scope of precision agriculture in our India, sir?
Precision farming may be the better future because when resources more and more you are using, resources become constrained. Precision agriculture may be the future of agriculture. How to use the resources very optimally, like Israel, they are using water. How we can use like water saving, like you see when I was talking about the data controlled irrigation system. That was same. It's they are trying for the precision agriculture. How much water we need to irrigate for the particular crop like that they are doing. These type of things are coming up. Coming days, resource conservation technologies and this type of precision agriculture plays greater role for whether you are talking about water or you are putting the nutrient for the crop, how much exactly you need to put like that you will be putting. That's why it has the great scope in coming days. When resources are very scarce, it has the more scope. Yeah. Thank you, Dinesh. Any other thing?
Sir, I have another question, sir. Sir, are there any startups in this precision farming, sir? Any startups?
Yes, yeah, there are many startups. Already I told some of the startups on water. The precision agriculture means may not be working all the areas, but somewhere working on the water resource conservation, somebody working on the fertilizers like that. There are startups working on the precision agriculture in the different fields. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon.
This is Sumana Sri, sir, from Andhra Pradesh.
Sohana Sri from Madhya Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh, sir. Sumana Sri.
Okay, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, from Andhra Pradesh. Tell me, Sumana Sri. Okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, nowadays many rural youth are not interested and more participating in agriculture, no, sir. Are there any entrepreneurships or any other entrepreneurs to make more interactive into the agriculture or light sectors?
So I didn't get your question very clearly. A lot of rural youth is not interested in agriculture. That is your point, is it not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then how to make it more attractive? What you are telling?
How to encourage them into the agriculture or the allied sector, sir?
Yeah, that's what. Agriculture generally is seen as we are somebody going in the field and hard sun. It is not very remunerative like that. But today's trend is changing. If you see many of the startups, they will come from IITs, IIMs and engineering colleges in agriculture. Earlier, they are not coming. But today they are thinking there is a business opportunity. Similarly, rural youth thinks there is a business opportunity. We can live better quality of life by doing agriculture, then they will come. That one, like agriculture students like you need to prove there is opportunities to develop the enterprises. We can do better life. We need to train. For that, there are schemes we have like STRY like that, training the rural youth for the entrepreneurship. We are doing it, and across country, many KBKs others are doing it, and many startups are really they are coming on these areas only. Even these startups are encouraging youths to join with their startups to work for them and so that they can get better decent income like that they are doing it. Time is slowly changing. People will come once they feel agriculture become more remunerative and attractive to them, then they will come. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, anybody? Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Rafiq. Anglo University, Andhra Pradesh, sir.
Yeah, Rafiq.
Sir, my question is, you have said that extension is nowadays going into the social media platforms too. And even we know that sustainable agriculture is beneficial, but why are we failing in India to communicate it to farmers, sir?
No, we are not failing to communicate the farmers. The farmers are very large. That means we need to use a variety of sources and we need to large number of farmers. For example, generally we talk the whole public extension system, almost it is maybe the 1 lakh or 2 lakh somebody, but still we have private, others all put together maybe less than million people are working. But if you see the agriculture, there is a 14 crore more farm families are there. Everybody reaching it is always a tough task. That's why I told we need to integrate a large number of ICT tools. Others today we can reach. For example, today we are discussing 200 plus students we are talking. Earlier we never thought like that we can do. Sitting somewhere apart across the country, we can discuss. But no, the technology is enabling. But slowly we may able to reach large number of farmers. Any other questions?
Sir, this is Ajay Sharma from Punjab Agriculture University, Haryana.
Ajay, you talk little loudly, no? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, as you talked earlier about startups and different entrepreneurship programs. Sir, so that's like I came from state like Himachal Pradesh. So what's the scope of these startups and different programs that you can suggest?
Ajay Sharma, it's a good question. But I'm sitting in Hyderabad, I may not be knowing everything. That's the problem with our graduates. You need to discuss and your own farmers, and you need to see locally what type of potential available like that. Is it not, Ajay Sharma? Actually, we need to try for what type of potential, and depending upon the state or place where you are, then it is fine. Actually, you need to look for it, and you may need to discuss with the local stakeholders like KVKs or universities or Department of Agriculture. Then they will be knowing better.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Any others? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Myself, Ripan Chandra Das. I am from Tripura, sir.
Yeah, Ripan. Tell me, Ripan.
Sir, I have one question. Hello, sir.
Please go ahead. I am listening. Yeah.
I am open one agri clinic in our state. How can,
Okay.
sir, and any criteria?
Yeah, to start agri clinics, you need to have the agri clinics, agri business centers course you need to undergo. There's a 45 days course across the country we are conducting. And Tripura, we don't they are not conducting. There is a Samidhi is the nodal training institute. They are not conducting, but you need to undergo other part of the country, West Bengal, some other places. After completing, you need to start that agri clinics. You can refer our agriclinics.net website. It has all the information for you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupan. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, I am Rudranath Mondal. I just asked you a question, and I have another question. Can I ask, sir?
Sure, you ask, Rudra.
Sir, how can I turn the normal newcomers from job seekers to job givers?
Okay, you want to make the job givers to job seekers. No, you tell about all the opportunities and you motivate them so that they can start. Is it not, Rudranath Mandal?
Sir, moreover, in village areas, many farmers doesn't have these smartphones. So how
Okay.
can they access to the new policies and the new programs that has been organized by manage or any agricultural centers?
No, it is not necessarily every farmers need to have the smartphones because only 25% of the rural population might be having smartphone. Always, no, ICTs alone may not help the extension to reaching the farmers. Always, we need to have the traditional extension system reaching the farmers personally. And this ICT may be the supplementary or complementary tool. Only the tool. It is not replace whole extension system or human interface. Is it not? Always we have the traditional demonstration reaching the farmers in group meetings. No, we always need to do that one. Even though ICTs are available or not available, we need to do. If ICT is available, we can add only that much. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. Any more questions or questions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Mahesh from Telangana, sir.
Yes.
Sir, many of the graduates are undergoing the training course of ACs or ABCs are organized and managed, sir.
Correct.
So why, after completing their training course, why most of the graduates are not establishing agri clinics in their places? Is there any problem or?
Generally, the students join. Generally NTAs all there. once you complete, you can go for bank loan, you can get 20 lakhs rupees and you can have the subsidy of 36%, woman means 44% like that. But end of the day, you complete the training and bank loan depends upon the detailed project report and how you are having the competence to convince the bank managers. And you are not serious only taking the certificate and going for the bank, they may not give the loan. If you see over the years, only 4% of the candidates that got the bank loan. Otherwise, most of them, they started with their own money. They investing their own money like that. That's the issue. They will think that once they are completing 45 days, they will get the bank loan. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, after establishing agri-clinics by few people, are they running their agri-clinics successfully, sir, in their places?
Yeah, across the country they are running. That's what I told one of the presentation you can do. There are success stories, nearly 350 stories we put up. Apart from that, there are thousands of people they are running successfully. Even Telangana alone, there is separate, there is an association, large number of people are, there is a separate WhatsApp group you can see. If you are interested, I will connect with you. Across the country, there is successful agripreneurs in the managed website, agriclinics.com. You can see the whole address and what type of venture they are running. It is available. You can check. You can contact them also. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, there is no question, sir. You can ask. We can ask everybody to unmute to see their faces, and we can take few photographs. At least we can have a lot of students. It is inspiring to others.